Day 2, you came back. I want you to sit with that for a moment before we do anything else. You came back, because that is not a small thing. That is actually everything. Day 1 is easy to romanticize. It has the energy of a beginning, the excitement of something new. But Day 2 is where you find out if you meant it. And you did. So before we go any further, before the affirmations, before the reflection, before any of it, I just want to say I see you. And I'm proud of you for being here. Today, I want to talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough in spaces like this. The gap. You know the one. The gap between who you are right now and who you want to become. The distance between the life you're living and the life you can feel somewhere just out of reach that you were meant to live. Most people look at that gap and feel one of two things. Either they feel hopeless, like the distance is too great, like they've already fallen too far behind, like the version of themselves they want to be is a dream that belongs to someone else, or they feel impatient. They want to close the gap overnight. They want the transformation without the journey. They want to wake up tomorrow already arrived. And I understand both of those feelings. I really do. Because the gap is uncomfortable. The gap means living in the in-between. And the in-between is one of the hardest places to be. But here is what I've learned about the gap. The gap is not your enemy. The gap is your teacher. Every single day that you wake up and choose to move, even slightly, even imperfectly, you are not just crossing the gap. You are becoming the kind of person who crosses gaps. And that is a transformation that goes far deeper than any destination. Think about who you were 1 year ago, 5 years ago. Think about the worries that kept you up at night back then, the fears that felt insurmountable, the version of yourself that seemed so far away. You crossed that gap, maybe not perfectly, maybe not on the timeline you wanted, but you are here. You are different. You grew, even when you weren't paying attention, and you will grow again. That is not wishful thinking. That is simply the nature of a person who keeps showing up. Growth is not something you chase. Growth is something that happens to you when you refuse to stay still. You showed up yesterday. You showed up today. And something, even something you can't yet measure, is already shifting. Today, I want to give you 3 affirmations that speak directly to the gap, to the in-between, to the uncomfortable, beautiful space of becoming. The first, I trust the pace of my own journey, not someone else's timeline, not the version of success that social media tells you should have happened by now. Your journey, your pace, and your pace, whatever it is exactly right for the life you are building. The second, I am not behind, I am exactly on time. Say that one again if you need to, because someone out there is carrying the weight of feeling late. Late to success, late to happiness, late to becoming who they were supposed to be. And I want that weight to lift, even just a little, right now. You are not late, you are right on time for your story. And the third, every day I choose growth, I become more of who I truly am, not less, not a watered-down version of yourself trying to fit someone else's mold. More, truer, closer to the person who has been waiting patiently inside you all along. Before you go today, I want to leave you with a small practice. At some point today, maybe over your morning coffee, maybe during a quiet moment in the afternoon, I want you to think of one thing you do now that the version of you from 3 years ago would find remarkable. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Maybe you set a boundary you never used to set. Maybe you ask for help instead of suffering in silence. Maybe you simply know yourself better. Maybe you are kinder to yourself on hard days than you used to be. Find that one thing and let it be evidence. Evidence that you are not standing still. Evidence that the gap has already been closing, quietly, steadily, even on the days you didn't notice. You are not the same person you were, and 3 years from now, you will look back at today, at this exact moment, and see it as part of the journey that changed everything. Day 2 is done, and you showed up for it. Rest well tonight. Choose yourself again tomorrow. I'll see you on day 3